Our trip to China started with a flight from Malta International Airport on the 27th August 2014. We had been invited to China by the Ministry of Culture in Beijing. A varied program along China's most remarkable sites in Beijing and Shanghai was arranged for us. As soon as we drove out in Beijing, we noticed how busy life was in the city. To cross a road in Beijing is surely a difficult feat. One of the first places that we visited was the Capital Library, which is the second largest library in Beijing. This library caters for both children and adults, and it receives around 10,000 visitors every day. Besides borrowing books and DVDs, visitors can also buy a favorite book or DVD from the library shop or watch a film. From the tender age of kindergarten, children are taught how to create their own digital books. These digital books include photos and comments, which they upload on their own by means of a system in the library. Eventually, these books can be seen on a screen and can also be printed. A digital system outside the library is updated daily with useful information, including a list of the most recommended books to read. From this library, visitors can even download a book on their own mobile phone, free of charge. This library has around 7 million books. Each year, around 400,000 new books, magazines and DVDs are added to this collection. We are pleased to say that now visitors can also read some books about Malta, which we have donated to this library. Another interesting visit was to a primary school, wherein the children themselves introduced their school to us both in the Chinese and English languages.
The rugby statue, this is the rugby statue. Although the rugby players have already graduated, however, the statue remains here to remind us and inspire us.
We were surprised to find that there are 50 children in each classroom. Whilst in China, we surely could not miss a visit to a Confucian temple. Like many other buildings in China, the architecture and decorations of the site were impeccable. This is the entrance to a magnificent building. In the old days, this was known as the Imperial College. This was the National Central Institute of Learning in ancient Chinese dynasties, and it belonged to the highest standard in China's traditional educational system. This colorful gate is the entrance to a Lama temple. This is the only place in Beijing which displays 4 languages: Manchu, Chinese, Tibetan, and Mongolian. According to an old tradition, some people, including monks, try their luck by throwing money at a large incense burner. In this Buddhist temple, we could observe the rituals of the people as they prayed, burnt incense, and showed their respect. A visit to the Forbidden City was a dream come true for all of us. The Forbidden City was the Chinese imperial palace from the Ming dynasty to the end of the Qing dynasty. Here, we could really see the huge magnitude of visitors which arrive at the site each day. We even met a group of Maltese tourists. The experience in the Forbidden City and its garden was utter delight. Definitely a moment to remember. Surely we won't forget our visit to the Great Wall of China. No fog or rain could stop us from going up those steps. Along a large area of the walls, we noticed these love locks which couples fixed to chains on sections of the Great Wall. They had names or initials inscribed on them. Legend says that once locked, the couple's love was locked together and would last forever. It is a true challenge to climb the stairs of the Great Wall because of the varying heights of each step. I could go on forever, but there was no time. Now we could understand why this is one of the 7 wonders of the world. The Temple of Heaven provides a world of recreation. This place was inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1998 and was described as a masterpiece of architecture and landscape design. This site is also very popular for wedding photos and fashion shoots. It was wonderful to observe the various customs of the Chinese people in this temple. Tradition marks this particular spot as the center of the world. The Summer Palace is the largest and most well-preserved royal park in China. It is an ideal place to meditate and relax. This is a 729-meter long covered walkway full of rich and colorful paintings. Visitors can enjoy boat rides on this man-made shallow lake. This artist took only 11 days to draw this masterpiece. One can never have enough of this great palace. Each section is a marvel of its own. Opera artists are preparing themselves backstage. Another artist is on stage to be seen by the public. All along our visit, we were treated to fine lunches, which introduced us to various delicious Chinese cuisines. It took time to get used to all those dishes. Here we found the opportunity to ride a rickshaw. This bar street was unusual and interesting. And this pedestrian area had many shops and entertainment spots. Chinese markets are always amazing and full of color. In this market, we had to deal with huge crowds of people, but nothing had prepared us for this. Once you visit China, it does not take long to fall in love with this country, with its culture, and with its people. Silk is very popular in China. One can find various products which are made with silk. Here, I am being taught how to identify between the handmade and the machine-made products. Markets provide a way to meet people and to explore the various Chinese products and souvenirs. A visit to this factory helped us to see how the beautiful cloisonne vases are made. A huge vase takes a month to make, whilst a smaller one takes 3 days. We notice these deities in many restaurants, where people offer them food, fruit, and money for good luck. The artistic skill of Chinese tradesmen is simply breathtaking. Our next visit was to the National Museum of China. I was very interested to see the intriguing artifacts which are so different from our local ones. We found more than an art exhibition in this museum. Artists were selling their works to collect funds for the disabled. It was surprising to see that some of the artistic works in this exhibition were done by blind persons. Most of the other works were masterpieces. 751D Park is an exhibition area for artists. Each artist displayed his own way of inspiration. We traveled to Shanghai on the high-speed train. It takes about 5 hours to arrive in Shanghai with this train. In the meantime, Mr. Gu is fast learning the Maltese language.
Again.
Sabiha Hafna. Isn't it?
We soon found out that Shanghai is completely different from Beijing. It is incredible to believe that all this building was built in just 17 years. High-rises stand next to old buildings and colonial structures. Indeed, traditional buildings and new constructions merge into each other in this city. Shanghai Museum was another treasury of outstanding artifacts. And 50-yard zone was an industrial area, but is now dedicated to artists. We looked forward to have a closer look at the life of people in Shanghai. Therefore, our guide took us to this market. In another area, we found different products and skills. These old constructions will soon be demolished in order to make way for new developments. In the Urban Planning Exhibition Hall, we learned more about these projects.
The total Shanghai, 6,340 square kilometers. And outside Shanghai, on the ocean, we have Yangshan Deep Water Harbor here. Connection of the land and harbor, we have a big bridge, cable bridge for the East Sea Bridge, totally 32 meters high, connect the land and the ocean. So we can have a look now. behind you. That's the model of.
This is a virtual tour which took us around Shanghai. This is the Bund. Shanghai people are very proud of the spectacular area. Everything is so modern in Shanghai, but what is the perception of the residents?
Precisely speaking, about 17 years ago, there was nothing. The
17 years ago,
flat.
my goodness.
Here?
That's right.
Here there was nothing?
And I think is the convenience. The subways, banks, education facilities. I don't have to, when I was about teenager, 14, 15 years old, I lived here. I was educated on that side. It took me more than 2 hours to get there. Got to take the ferry and bicycles. And I hate the raining days because in the raining days when I got to the school, it's muddy because sleeves, shoes is muddy, and no, can't believe it's so different. Life has been changed so different. So as a local people, we're so proud of that. But at the same time, it seems that we are losing some characters of the city because it seems we got lost. At the last 20 years, people are always seeking, try to get China special or outstanding or whatever. But now it seems that we are losing what we really want.
Which is?
Well, I think is the value of life. Those landmarks, those buildings, it's just the buildings. People, the relationship. Yeah, in short, is the exciting of those high rises lasted just a couple of days or even months. But when you really get back here, I can tell you one thing. My parents was here because we lived around here when the older house was here, but they got lost when they come back.
They didn't recognize the place
That's
then.
right.
No
The landmarks, all the landmarks are gone.
So for the elderly, this must have been a big shock.
But everything got two sides.
That's
Yes,
it.
yes.
How's it going?
The benefits of the people is important. 去得㗎啦，係，去得啦得。攞曬咧，一袋嘢出嚟。
We understood that even in these ultra-modern surroundings, people continue to look out for the simpler things in life, and that they feel the need to preserve their own roots. Our last stop was at this ancient town. It looked just like a little Chinese Venice. Many Chinese people come here in order to enjoy the feeling of a China of the old days. Our trip to China was over, but we left with a warm and pleasant feeling.